On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed.
History made today as the Senate voted to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. She is now the first African-American woman to take the bench on the nation's highest court. The votes there, 53 yes to 47 no. And right now, we're joined by retired Alameda County Superior Court Judge LaDoris Cordell to break down the significance of this day. Judge Cordell, thank you so much for joining us here during Crowd 4 News at noon. Let's get your reaction to this historic confirmation.
Sure. Thank you for inviting me. And actually, I was a judge in Santa Clara County. This is indeed a momentous occasion. And when the Senate, those who voted to confirm her applauded, I was applauding too. This is a great moment for America and for all Americans, because finally, the Supreme Court is continuing to look more and more like America. It's been a long time coming. I'm absolutely thrilled. And now we know that all things are possible in America, even given our history and how we started off in this country with the enslavement of African Americans. I'm thrilled and look forward to when she takes her seat on the court, which will likely be in October.
So that transition from judge to justice is not going to be happening for a few more months.
Right. Justice Breyer will complete his term, likely in June, and then the court is not in session, and then it begins its new term starting in October. But my guess is she will not be idle during these months. What she's likely going to be doing is deciding who her law clerks are going to be. And the law clerks are just critical to the Supreme Court justices. And it is my hope that in her chambers, the law clerks will look like America, that they will be people of color, white, male, female, LGBT, whatever that can be done. I'm sure she will find people in all of those areas who are highly competent, who will be with her during her time on the bench.
The photos that we're looking at now was that, can we call her justice? Can we call her a justice now? Is that official? Or is she still a judge?
Yeah, technically not until she is actually sworn in, and that will likely happen in October. But you know what? I'm going to call her Justice Jackson Brown.
Okay, we'll make the change
Justice
right
Brown Jackson. Excuse me, I got her name mixed up. I will call her Justice Brown Jackson.
All right, we'll make it official here. Who needs a confirmation? Right. So her presence is certainly going to diversify the bench, but is it going to change its conservative tilt at all?
It is unlikely initially that there will be a change given the supermajority that conservatives hold on the bench. But this will be the first time that the liberal wing of the Supreme Court will be all female and diverse, a Latina, an African American, and a Jewish person. So these three women, they're not likely to change much in terms of how the court will rule. However, they will likely be writing dissents, and we know from the history of the Supreme Court, but oftentimes as time goes on, those dissents can become majority opinions down the road.
And does this, as what the Democrats, their goal was here in this historic confirmation, was to make the justice system look more like America. Does this meet that goal?
Well, we're getting there. So there has never been an Asian American on the court or a Native American. So we still have a way to go. But this is the first time that white men are not the majority on the court. So this is great progress. But, you know, progress is measured not how far we've come, but how far we have yet to go. We still have a way to go, but this is a major step, a huge step for everyone, and in particular for women and for people of color.
Also, her age, I feel like, is somewhat significant here. She is going to be the second youngest member of the court. And since this is a lifetime appointment, she's some 30 years younger than the person that she's replacing. How does her age play in this at all?
Age is very important, given that there's lifetime tenure, as you mentioned. My hope is she stays very healthy, and that down the road, who knows, she could eventually be designated as the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, and wouldn't that be something? So age is very important, and the younger the person is, but with the requisite experience, then that's a good thing, I think, to have as representing us in the U.S. Supreme Court. So she has the experience, she has the wisdom, and she has experience unique to the court because she was, for a time, a public defender in the federal system. So all of these things are wonderful. She brings so much to the court. This is a day for rejoicing, and a day that the Senate came through, at least 53 of them came through and voted the right way. And they will be remembered well in history.
So you wrote a book about your time on the bench called Your Honor. How does this chapter in Ketanji Brown Jackson's book of her life, where does this stand for her and also in our history books and what we'll be teaching our children?
Well, thank you for the question. The title of the book is Her Honor. And I write in the book what it's like to be the first, particularly the first in the legal system, as I was the first African-American woman jurist in all of Northern California when I was appointed in 1982. And what this justice will likely find is pressure. There'll be pressure on those expecting her to fail and not to do well. And there's pressure from those, many more, I hope, who are expecting her to do well and hoping that she will. And given her track record, she absolutely will. She will deal with the pressure. And we saw how she dealt with the pressure at the confirmation hearings, where she was relentlessly attacked, disrespected, and dealt with the race baiting, and did it wonderfully by taking the high road. So that's a good indication that she will do well being the first and dealing with all of the pressures ahead.
The first, and I'm going to say probably not the last. Judge Ladoris Cordell, thank you so much for joining us here during KRON 4 News at noon. We really appreciate your insight.
Sure. Thank you so much.